What is going on, everybody? Skipper here. With 2024 coming to an end, I thought it'd be a good idea to make a video of things that we should see in 2025. Some things that has been a long awaited, and some things that are just wishful thinking. But this is a list of things I feel would improve the game, improve the gameplay, and just in general, make the game better. Like, subscribe, leave me a comment. I want to know what you guys are thinking. What items do you want come to 2025? Now, 2024 was a great year for EW. With all their hard work, they produced 2 new maps with Thunder Patan and Salsreason Park. They added 12 new animal species, 3 new great ones with the tar, pheasant, and red fox, 2 new weapon packs with the Hunter's Choice bolt-action rifle pack and the high caliber weapon pack. They snuck in the Scopes and Crosshairs pack, added a new dog with a German short-haired pointer, moved on from Hunt Club beta to challenges, and they fixed a ton of miscellaneous bugs. All right, now let's start this list off at number 10, game cams. W has released before saying that game cams could be possible in the future with new great ones involved. That was about 2 years ago. We have at least 3 new great ones since then. I think it would be a great tool when you're setting up for a grind or if you're a casual player running through the woods. You can't check each lake at each time of the day to see what you have there, or the riverways, or just a random path, or on a hunting structure area that is already on the game. I believe game cams would make a huge difference, because let's face it, there are too many waterways on these maps, too many woods, but checking these areas every part of the day during the feeding and resting time seems too much. It's a lot easier to scroll through the codex pictures. And you can also add feeders. That's a different note. If you guys are enjoying the content, please like, subscribe, leave me a comment below. Let me know what items you want added into the game, because I'm going to throw some things in here that I can guarantee no one has on their list. At number 9 on our list would be backfilled species. A lot of maps are barren. There's so many animals spread apart so many different places. And even good maps like Tierra could benefit greatly from getting backfilled species. But there's other species you can add other than just tar that are in New Zealand. Rusa deer and sandbar deer, which are found on Australia, can be added to this map as well to make it more of a action-packed place. But like I said, other maps could benefit as well. Medved could also add chamois, Siberian ibex, bighorn sheep, and Siberian roe deer. Yukon, you could add coyotes and mountain goats that are in the game. But the best thing to add to Yukon would be beavers. I personally would like to have some payback on all the tents that they had destroyed. Parque Fernando, you can add mouflon, red fox, feral goat, wild boar, and I don't know how they made an Argentina map without adding partridges and doves. That's like the main thing about Argentina hunting. Cuatro Colinas, you can add more chamois and mallards. Rancho de la Roya, you could add axis deer, black buck, elk, gemsbok, mouflon, quail. And this isn't really a backfilled species, but I think it, for one, would be hilarious. And 2 would just be the best ever if we decided to add emus to Australia. Just think of the mission, the Great Emu War, Part 2. Go ahead, Google it. Let me know in the comments how funny you think it is. But not only adding backfilled species, I think it would be great as well. I know that this would be a controversial topic, but we gotta stop sharing drink times. There's no way you can hunt multiple wildlife at the same drink area and be successful. I can see if they overlap, that's fine. That way you don't have an hour of this animal has an hour to walk to the lake. Overlapping sounds like a better compromise. But like I said, it's controversial. I think it's stupid. I'm also a console player. Hunting on this game is a lot harder when you have joysticks and buttons instead of a mouse. At number 8 on the list, deals with hunting pressure change. It doesn't make sense to me that every animal and every caliber, other than a bow, creates the same size hunting pressure at the same rate. You have animals like roe deer, pheasants, rabbits, bunnies, hares, and then you have other animals like muskox or water buffalo, tigers. In my opinion, if you're using a 22 on a level 1 animal, the diameter of the hunting pressure should be smaller, and it should build up slower than if you shot 1 water buffalo with a 300. It would be a huge save to so many people's maps on blown out zones. For instance, if you hunt stubble quill, they don't have a drink time. You find them in the fields. Then you can easily shoot 2 to 3 birds with 2 shots. And then you can just stand there and watch the other ones fly away, because if you take one more shot, you blew out their zone. Now you have to find those little bastards somewhere else on your map. That's just my opinion. Please let me know what you're thinking, because I believe that this is one of the things that will be a great fix for this game in 2025. Here we are at number 7, floaters. But the animal floating to where you shot them doesn't make sense. It's 11:09 in the game, probably a minute past, and with the limited drink time that these animals have, I have to stand here, sit down, and wait for this thing to float over to me. Honestly, but personally, I would think that it would have been a better idea to have the animal float back to where it entered the water. So when a player does shoot the animal, he or she can still make forward progress in the game and head towards that direction and claim their harvest. Yes, you can make them go faster. It's still waiting on the animal. And I do appreciate the thought process of a delivery system. But if I'm grinding, it's 11:17 now. It's not even halfway here. And it's taking ever so slowly. So here we are at 11:20 in game. That's how long it took this deer to travel. I could have ran across the lake faster, or, since I'm grinding, fast travel to a location. I can almost guarantee you that the majority of the players of this game would prefer the deer to float back to where it was initially shot at than to where the player is. It's just a suggestion. Coming in at number 6 on the top 10 things needed for 2025. I grouped this together, but I'm going to say silencers, muzzleloaders, shotgun chokes, and backlit reticles. The Hunter did a really good job kind of starting the silencer with a Vasquez Cyclone air rifle. It would be nice to have the ability to put a silencer on your gun to shoot at an animal within 100 meters and not spook every animal off. It would create less hunting pressure and it'd be more enjoyable. Now, the muzzle brakes, who doesn't want less recoil? You go through the skills and perks, but they make a very small difference. A shotgun choke can help you adjust the spread of your pellets and also the distance of how far you can shoot. So when you're in a more crowded area of vegetation like the woods, you can have a wider spread with a shorter distance. Or if you're in a field, you can make it shoot further or a tighter spread. And lastly, backlit reticles. It'd be a good way to differentiate the contrast between a dark crosshair and a dark shaded animal, where only thing you see is the outline. So you can get that vital shot with a heart or lung where you're not exactly zeroed, and you can have a better guesstimation on when you shoot it. Let me know in the comments if you feel the same way. At number 5 on the top 10 things we would like to see in 2025, I personally would love to see an upgrade to the map. As you can tell on my map here, Emerald Coast, I have a lot of need zones unlocked. These need zones create issues with consoles because we're running off of my PS5 is running off of a PS4 program or something that was designed for the PS4. Now, a lot of these need zone indicators have multiple species attached to them. So when you're trying to look for a specific animal, you have to go and scroll through each one. Say if I was going to do a red fox grind here, it would be really nice to be able to toggle which animal I would like and it just show the need zones for that animal. Also, it would be nice to have a way to put a mark down. When you first hit a map and you're still exploring, you're looking for your zones. All right, well, I have a good zone here for a deer. Let me put a star. Let me put something that identifies it that's not something that's in your inventory, like a tripod. For a new player, you don't have a lot of money to just spend on tripods. You don't have the money to put tents down. You have to build that time. You have to build that money as you start grinding. Now I'll show here on the Angler exactly what I'm talking about. For number 5, map marking. I'm out here on the Angler called the Wild. Since it's made by the same company, it's easiest to explain. See how you can identify certain areas with different labels? If I caught a fish out here, I can add a marker. What type of marker? Say if I caught a gold fish, and I want to go back for that. And I'll set a label. On this specific map, these are the fish that's on here. So this way you can show the level of fish, bronze, silver, gold, diamond, and pick what species. If they make it for the angler, I don't see why we can't incorporate that into the hunter. I think it'll be a good way to track where you have what species you're hunting, along with what levels there are. Say if you're grinding and you have a shot down area that has level 2s or level 3s, let's say for goats, feral goats, you have level 2, level 3 feral goats. And then you have another area that has level 5, level 4s, and you're stacking. So exactly where you want to go and what you have to shoot down. I think this would be a huge help to the game, especially for grinders and even non-grinders. If you just let you have a specific thing there, you just go for it. Now we're heading towards the end of our list. Number 4 on things that I want added to Call of the Wild theHunter in 2025 as a black light / UV light. So when you're doing nighttime hunts like this, you don't have to worry about sifting through all the different footprints, and you can just track down solely the blood. Is it me or do the black buck look wet and weird now? Sorry, that's sidetracked, but they really do. So if we had a black light / UV light, we can just add it to the flashlight, maybe a double click, and it would be a different shade that would specifically just show the blood splatter. Maybe a combo where you can have the flashlight and black light. I don't know. I'm not the game designer. I just thought it was a cool idea, so I figured I'll suggest it in my video. All right, guys. Number 3 on this list deals with bows. It'd be nice to have upgraded broadheads, lighter shafts, further distance, the whole 9 yards. The bows need upgraded. We have some good bows, but the things with the bows need some work and adjustments, like the Bright Side Rangefinder bow sight. I just got one big question. Why is this thing 2 kilograms? I scratch my head every time I see this because I want to add it into my inventory, but then I realize it's so damn heavy. Not only is it heavy, it's hard to see the reticle. It is 717 in the game. Try to use this. I can't even see the dot. I'm just guessing at this point. I can make an educated guess on where the center of that is, and hopefully I can see the green dot after I get the range. But I think that the reticle part needs to be brighter and bigger. Because honestly, I love bow hunting in this game. Bow hunting makes the harder hunting maps like Hirschfelden, Mississippi, New England a lot more enjoyable because you put 2 hard things together and it feels challenging and rewarding, at least for me. All right, guys, here we are in Parque Fernando to go over number 2 on the list. And number 2 is waterway crossing points and kayaks. We already have a couple maps that have docks on them with no boats or any way to cross over. And then we have maps that do have crossover points, like Mississippi Acres and Revontuli. Now, maps like Parque Fernando, Yukon, Rancho de la Roya are maps that have the worst lakes and could benefit hugely from this very small feature. As the bird flies, it's 381 meters across. There is no good vantage point anywhere on these lakes. Look at this ugly thing. It has fingers. It's long, it's awkward, looks like a crab. Help us help you. Please add this to the game. All right, guys. Here we are at number 1. And you see, I'm in my Sasiki Safari Lodge. You might have guessed it, but yes, number 1 is new paid DLC Customizable Lodge. I can go on for at least an hour about all the things I would love to include. So I'm going to cut this down to just a little bit just so you guys can pick up what I'm putting down. Out of all the lodges, this one is by far the best because it has open floor space. It has extra large, medium, small plaque sizes, floor displays, and it has a bunch of gun displays. Honestly, I think a little bit too many gun displays because there's 148 gun displays here and there's only 55 guns in the game. I want to emphasize on customizable. I want the ability to change size of the plaques, floor mounts, and gun displays, or the ability to remove gun displays and replace with plaques. And even though I love the multi-mounts that they provide in this game, I want the ability to make my own multi-mounts. I want to have all my rare fur type red deers in a multi-mount, or crocs, bantang, axis deer, you name it, I want to be able to build it. Since I'm a content creator, I would love the ability to have my own personal banner hanging up as soon as I walk into my lodge. I would love to say the Skipper's Lodge with my logo as my own personal touch. In a new lodge, I'd love to have sections where you can customize it exactly how you want. I can make this an Emerald Coast room or a Yukon. They have some areas where you could make something like that, but with the amount of animals in each map, unless it's customizable, you won't be able to get all the species or sizes or types that you want in a certain area. More trophy poses. Remove size restrictions to be able to put any size animals you want on in a reasonable manner. In the new lodge, I'd love to have more floor mounts. And with the ability to change what size plaques you have, also have the options for antler, racks, mounts, shelves, skull mounts, and maybe small game shelves. Like a nice lit up plexiglass shelving that I can put all the rabbits in the game in there. But most of all in this lodge, I would love it to have an open floor spot. The other two lodges for the game, we have the Laden Lake Trophy Cabin, which is just enough trophies, stands, and plaques for the two non-DLC maps. And then you have Spring Creek Manor, which it's an okay lodge. It's just extremely cluttered. It's confined to where you can put things. It just seems like you're walking into more things than observing. It's super dark. And honestly, I think that there should be like an old man smoking a cigar in a corner because it just has that feel to it. It'd be nice to have complete lodge freedom and to show off your own unique style. With the new lodge, I'll love them to come out with an update that completely overhauls the trophy manager. The ability to sort by species, bird types, trophy ratings. I would like to go through all my hundreds of trophies and get rid of the ones that I don't want no more. Like when I was a new player and I saved almost everything. It'd be so nice to just be able to be like, oh, okay, these are all my bronze. I don't know why I saved them, but let's just click these. And if people have the worry or fear that, oh, I might delete a real trophy or a trophy I don't want to delete, just give the option to favorite that animal. And if you favorite it, you can't delete it. That's just a solution for a problem that I think that we might arise. But with good news, with the last release of Salzwiesen Park, I do think that EW has given us some Easter eggs. Easter eggs, I think, are these little antlers that's laying around. I hope that they do add this into the new lodges or the ability to do this because, say, for instance, my red deer or my fallow grinds, I have too many diamonds and I'd rather not dedicate a whole lodge just to fallow when I can cut the space required to put up my trophies if I can just put an antler in and still get the same information and stats off of that as a head or a floor display. And also right here, the skull mounts. I think that'd be an amazing addition to everything else that you can do in a lodge. And as you can see, it cuts down the space you need by the trophy plaque as the head would. Granted, they're not the same species, but you get the point. And some more foreshadowing. With all the questionnaires that they asked last year in 2024, I think there will be some type of picture display available. I'm just hoping that they give the console players like myself on PS5 and Xbox the ability to take a picture with the camera in game and save it so you can hang those pictures up. And of course, as I said earlier, I really hope they add kayaks into the game or canoes just so we can hunt those big lakes and have a different type of hunt. It just looks so cool with the skull mounts. Be able to take a picture with you and your harvest. In this one small room, you have the skull mount and two antler mounts. And one multi-mount that I really wish that they'll add would be the antler chandelier. Imagine that type of multi-mount where you have to have 15 whitetail, 10 red deer, whatever the number is. Talking about cutting down on some space and making a cool ass display, that would be amazing. And just look, you can eliminate so much space by just doing these types of plaques and giving us this type of option. That's the list. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you stuck around and watched it. Please like, subscribe, and leave me a comment. Let me know what you think of my list and let me know what you would put on your list. Later.